massive 3-0 win. They swept their previous opponent, so they're coming into this matchup quite heated. But I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Poople is still rocking and rolling. Splyce versus Wisefrag. We're kicking things off with Coliseum CTF. The first team to capture 3 flags will be the victor, or once the time is run down, whoever's got the most will also claim victory. Dave, kicking things off with the young man himself, Renegade from Splyce.
Yeah, we're going to see what Renegade's going to do. And one thing that's interesting is they're sending him towards rocket side. We know how good of a sniper Renegade is. That just goes to show the depth that they have on this lineup.
Easy kill there, so the secure rocket side steps back for a second, and why not? Keep yourself alive. And I like the fact that you've actually touched on the sniper situation, because another set of people that know he's pretty good with the snipers, Optic Gaming. When we see Optic Gaming going up against Splyce, they actually just opt to sometimes burn away them bullets. They'll just shoot them in the wall and say, okay, well, we're actually going to take them completely away from them.
Yeah, and that can be either out of fear from the other team and their power weapon prowess, or the flip side of that can be you just feel so confident in your team that you don't need to have those weapons or for things to have things go right your way.
We did actually see in the kill feed, I believe, Super CC bagging himself a triple kill. So, doing some damage initially to Splyce, but that's done nothing. They haven't capitalized on that triple kill whatsoever. They've allowed Splyce to get themselves back in this game, kind of compose themselves, and all of a sudden, wham bam, thank you ma'am, they've got themselves a flag.
Yeah, and you did bring up the fact that I believe Super CC got that triple kill. However, his team at that moment in time only had 5 kills total. So 5 kills compared to the 11 or 12 that we saw from Splyce's end just goes to show the outslaying power.
Yeah, definitely some slaying power. You can see in the kill feed, looks like Eco's got himself a sniper rifle. That's going to be 2 from him. Super CC looking for this flag. He's got his teammate with him, so they'll be able to tag up across the map. CC will drop. Unfortunately, it's going to be Shotsy, as you can see there in the kill feed. Pre-grenade, hoping to find a bit of a player, maybe some hit markers, get some information.
Oh, that is so frustrating. One thing I talked about before here on Coliseum Flag, the way that Halo 5 has changed a little bit is you used to be able to flank through, get some sort of counter pull, and then bring that flag back and create this chaotic situation. However, now, sometimes that flank takes so long, and you notice right there, Encore made that flank all the way over towards the red rocket corner and then got sniped. That's essentially 2 deaths of him doing nothing for about 15 or 20 seconds.
But on the flip side, he's managed to, 1, grab himself a power weapon in the form of the rockets, but 2, they got the return. They actually got the return on the flag, so they stopped that when Splyce managed to get it all the way across the map. We'll see what Valkyrie does here. It's a big one-on-one if he wins it, but Renegade says, not today, my friend. Get the hell out of my base. Chance will be stepping up to the plate as well, but Eco, a bit of a kind of the bodyguard here right now. He's the bouncer on the door, and all I keep seeing is the kill feed filled with his name, just stopping every single little push that Wisefrag attempt to make. 2 players will go down. You can see there, Envor. They'll start to get this move on this flag, but they've got to be careful on the opposing side where Splyce are going to be setting up, because if it's one thing that Splyce does really well, David, as you're moving the flag towards your own base, sometimes they'll just sit in there and wait for you to turn up and then kill you on the arrival.
Yeah, they're not going to hesitate just to meet fire with fire and just fight those fights on that side. They're going to be very confident. They don't want to just split up way too much and get in these crazy chaotic situations. They're very comfortable when they get together, but credit to this Wisefrag roster as they're bringing in this first flag. That one's going to be captured, and it's going to be a tie game, Sims.
Ooh, baby, we might actually have a cheeky little game on here. Looking down inside the cave, grenade will go down. Shotsy needs to be careful. You can look at the radar. The players are creeping around. He knows that he needs to watch his back. Goes around the corner. Gets a welcome wagon, though. There's 2 people in there. One in the cave, one with a sniper rifle as well, looking on the ledge. But sniper rifle instantly taken away from Wisefrag. They've got to be careful, though, Dave, that they don't actually get pushed back inside the base. If they get held back, Splyce will happily kill them off the respawn.
Yeah, they're going to take their time when they get towards that base. They're going to be happy to let them respawn in there and then just slowly strangle them out. It's one of those pinches here on Coliseum where you don't have many great options. You can push out towards rocket side, but you're not going to meet those one-on-one fights that you want. Or you can push out towards snipe/fountain side, and they're going to have that distance in between and back down to wait for help. So right there, we saw Stellar get that triple kill. We are seeing Splyce move that flag all the way across the map, and I find it hard to believe that Splyce is not going to capture the second flag.
So just so you know, you saw the triple kill before coming out of Stellar. You've just seen another one. That were 4 bullets in the chamber. That's 4 headshots in a row. What an absolute mental way to make use of the bullets. 4 bullets, 4 kills, and here comes another pull. I tell you what, they are not alleviating any pressure from Wisefrag right now.
How different is this too? Watching Renegade's POV in this season compared to last year. Think about when he played on that Renegade Renegade, or sorry, on that Straight Ribbon roster, there's so many times where it was like, all right, you'd see Ace or APG go out their way to drop the sniper, get Renegade set up, and then they would try to make some sort of push or make some sort of motion. But Renegade, we haven't seen him touch a sniper once, and that's no problem for Splyce as they close this one out 3-1.
GG no re. Game number 1 falls steadily and easily in the hands of Splyce, but you know, Wise, they got themselves a flag cap, so that's definitely going to give you a little bit of a confidence boost. But unfortunately, Splyce as well, you can have your confidence boost. That's not a problem, boys.
We're going to give you one cap, and it's just one cap. Do you want it early on, or do you want it later? It's your choice when you want it.
We'll let you have some confidence. It's not a problem whatsoever, but we'll take a look at the kill feeds now. 14 kills. Big boy John at the top there, Renegade himself, and only 6 I think that's the one thing that always surprises me most about this roster, Dave. They'll get the kills, but it's how little deaths they have between them.
Just staying alive for so long. Unfortunately, a rough game right there for Valkyrie, having 2 kills. I've said before, and sometimes when you look at stats and you're saying, okay, this team, they got beaten pretty badly, and let's say 1 or 2 members of the squad went near even, and maybe 1 or 2 members went fairly negative. Depending on like a Team Slayer match, if it's like a 50-25, I discredit those stats. I'm like, hey, you know what? Your whole team lost as a team. Doesn't matter who kind of cleaned up or picked off a couple of those kills. There might, you know, you can go situational based and look at a couple specific situations. However, in a case like that, where it's a 5-minute flag game, you had a lot of the members playing super strong. You saw Super CC getting that triple kill at one moment. But when we saw Valkyrie dropping 2 kills right there, that is a bit of a problem. At some point, you need to get those slays. I don't care how objective efficient you are on Coliseum flag. If you're only getting 2 kills, you're not going to be able to get those flags back.
Okay, Dave, we're at MLG. I want you to go back to your final boss days. I want you to be sat there now on main stage. You've just been crushed pretty much by Splyce. What are you saying to your teammates to try and pick yourself up to get into game number 2?
You either focus on the moments that went well during the last game, saying, hey, we escort those flags, we can get these slays when we're playing our game, or you just focus on the future and say, all right, Slayer Truth, what are our first steps in this game? A lot of times I like to reiterate best case scenario and worst case scenario. So if I was in the situation with, let's say, old school final boss, I'd be like, all right, all 4 of us die and we're spawning on their base. Let's make sure we get control of level 2 of our base and our addicts instantly. Or in the best case scenarios, I'm going to say we get all 4 down, collapse on those bases and kill them over and over again, boys.
Easier said than done, though, because this, of course, is Splyce. Slayer on Truth will be game number 2. Once again, thank you very much for joining us here today. This, of course, is Saturday. We'll be rolling on in tomorrow for an absolutely belting Championship Sunday, but cracking games all day long today. It's not over, guys. We've still got plenty of matches to show you on screen. Eco's POV to start game number 2.
Yeah, seeing how he's going to go up towards pink and what he's going to do. It looks like instead of meeting up towards pink 2, kind of knows the meta, how this has evolved a little bit, realizing, guess what, people aren't just going to charge straight up the street every single time. I can get up towards pink 3. I have that time allowed. And there we go. We see a 4-1 lead for Splyce. This is going to be rough for Wisefrags. You know when you're a team that's kind of lower seeded or you're struggling a little bit, you want to get those good starts.
I want to go back to that P3 player. He had no shields whatsoever, but he's still challenged. He had no fear in the man's eyes whatsoever.
0 fear. However, I think he had gotten that shot. And one thing to take into account during those long-range fights in Halo, whether it's Halo 1 with the Magnum, Halo 2 with the Battle Rifle, or even Halo 5 here with the Magnum, when you get that zoom advantage, it is such a significant advantage where you can just dictate that fight. You get that shot on that person, and it's going to be so tough for them to get their zoom back.
I think every time I'm looking at Eco's face, they're actually having a smile and a bit of a giggle between them, so definitely a bit of fun on the Splyce side. Probably, when you're looking at the 11-3, they do have the map. Look at this, he just giggles all around. It feels like he's a predator just playing with his prey right now. There's one for Shotzi, finds a double, triples rocking around the corner, but a grenade will come back. Stella easily picking that one up. His POV, he pops on board, sticks a double in the bag. I think that might be all 4 dead there, unfortunately for Wisefrag.
Yep, and here's going to be that best case scenario here for Splyce side. They realize they got a few kills over at red, so what are they going to do? They're going to start to rotate towards blue. Looks like they see some people sneaking out towards bomb center, but they can easily revert back over towards top pink or top card and cut those angles off.
What is it, Dave, when you're looking at this scoreline now? Is this just individual aggression that can't be countered, or is this just pure and utter teamwork locking them down?
I mean, it's always kind of a combination of the two. There's going to be some unavoidable 1v1 fights that you're going to get into this game. You can't always guarantee that you're going to have multi-fights every single time, like a 2-on-1 or a 2-on-2 fight. But take a quick look before this rec pack goes off your screen. It's Shotzzy Gade. We are going to combine the two young guns on the squad in Shotzzy and Renegade and give you a nice platinum rec pack. Yeah. But back to your original question is it individual or is it teamwork? It's a combination of both. I mean, when you get your 1v1 fights, you have to win those. There's nothing more motivating than seeing your teammate win those 1v1 fights when it comes down to it. But it helps a lot too when you have some shots coming into the opponent's side from your teammates across the map.
Oh, this is disgusting. This is just... feels bad, man. Just watching this, Eco in the kill feed, Valkyrie will fall. Green gun in the hands of Shotzzy, and now he can just drop down. He'll pre-plant a grenade. Didn't expect that incoming shot, but it's fine. He's still alive, still wandering around, looking for more. Oh God, look at these. It's these little bump jumps that are crazy.
One thing that was super impressive about that grenade, though, you notice how he just covers every single angle. He's making the most efficient use out of his turns on the screen. He says, all right, if this person lifts up, he's going to run to my grenade. Otherwise, I'm going to be having my cursor in the perfect spot when I see him under this base.
It's just preempting the worst case scenario,
yep.
Right? I think that's what makes an incredible player. I mean, even from playing Halo 2 back when I used to play this absolutely day in, day out, you can kind of predict what the enemy's going to do.
Yeah, you go through all these different scenarios in, especially when you're in a one-on-one scenario like holding up power position, something like Pink, or one of my best examples I would use was guarding in Halo 3, holding Snipe Tower. If you look the incorrect direction for a split second at a time and you got backsmack, you can go back to the film and try to understand, all right, how am I not checking my 6 in the correct order? How am I not watching my back and making this perfect? Because in a situation where you're holding that tower by yourself, unless you get caught off guard, unless someone's taking your attention for too long, you should not be getting backsmacked.
So let's just watch this now, as we see 2 at least go down. So now they can kind of get themselves back in there. 3 members of Splyce are down now, Dave. What exactly do Wisefrag need to do? Where do they need to be going to watch what's going on?
So what Wisefrag needs to do as soon as they get 3 down is, first, isolate that 4th person. Find where it's at. Because if you can find that 4th person and fly at it, you know you have a numbers advantage. You don't have to take it like any sort of safe route as you run across the map. You just basically can all fly towards that person and challenge a 2-on-1 or a 3-on-1. After that, you should be able to, by deduction, understand where the other team's going to be spawning. So if you have all your team over at, like, blue and car, you're going to be obviously assuming that they're going to be spawning over at pink or red.
Okay, so we got to power up. Camo's going to go in the hands of Envor. We'll see where he goes with this one. Needs to be steady, needs to be really, really careful. Okay, trigger discipline, fair play, but your teammate's getting shot. Give him some support. A player's going to be behind that one, so good grenade. Hit markers on both players. He should be able to clean this one up. And he needs his team help from his teammates, which is so unfortunate. If they killed him, they could have carried on using the camo, but once again, the pure aggression of Splyce. You've got a camo, boys, not today.
That is one of the scariest situations about these members of Splyce and all these top teams in general, is right there, that one misstep from Envor. He gave up his camo life, and that was honestly totally a fault from Envor. It wasn't about Wisefrag cleaning up shots a little bit faster. He purely jumped out of a safe position trying to finish that shot off, and shots he's going to take that challenge any day. There are certain times when it is very wise to challenge. You're going to be down in numbers. So right there, Shotzzy realized he was in a 3-on-1 situation, says, give me that 1-on-1 fight right now. I'll take it.
I mean, you know, credit to Wisefrag where it's due. They're still getting kills. They've still got 34 on the board. It's not like they're getting completely and utterly dumped on whatsoever. They're still answering back.
6-kill game
That's
is
what
even,
I mean.
Yeah.
It's minuscule. They've actually brought this back quite a lot, to be honest with you. But the pure and utter aggression of Splyce is really starting to show, but they're only down by 5.
Yeah, down by 5, and I'm not seeing as many smiles or joking here from the Splyce squad. Wisefrag is being taken serious right now as it's only a 5-kill game as it's winding down.
Come on, boys, tighten these up. This could be a win for them if they really get this one together. 6 minutes on the clock, slow it down, work as a team, don't give away needless deaths. You're only down by 6. They can still do this, but as you mentioned, now the serious faces on the players of Splyce come out to play, but unfortunately they're starting to do that thing where they single out players. Okay, we now need to kind of put the nail in this coffin, find the solos, cut them off from the rest of the pack, or the head off the snake and finish this one off.
Yeah, and I think you're just going to be able to kind of assume that some of those following kills happened. When we noticed it was a 6-kill mark, it was, I want to say, 46-40, and you saw 2 members of Wisefrag fall at that moment. So in most cases, when you have a 4-on-2 advance for a team like Splyce, they're going to be able to collapse in and at least get 1 or 2 of those kills.
So 50-44 will be the final score of game number 2. I'm really happy with Wisefrag's performance. If a couple of little things here and there, if they just tightened them up just a little bit and maybe started off at the start how they ended, things could have been a little bit different, unless that were just Splyce been a bit more relaxed and a bit more chilled out. You don't know.
Dude, even if that's their excuse, That's the mindset. You can't have that sort of mindset going into this tournament. You can't take any of these teams lightly. What you want to send out of this group stage is you want to show your team being this well-oiled machine. You want to make sure you are playing on point every single time. You can't get in this mindset where it's like, hey, we're up by a little bit. Let's start getting relaxed. Let's start messing around a little bit. That should not be any team's mindset at a tournament.
So a quick look at the kills then. Oh, and 20 and 9. What a beast mode performance from him. 12 and 12 from Renegade, 11 and 12, 7 and 11 from Eco down at the bottom. You know what? Really good performance. We'll see how game number 3 goes, whether they can keep in this or Splyce will be wanting to just close this one out quick 3-0. But once again, everyone at home, I want to thank you so much for joining us this weekend. This, of course, is the Halo World Championship 2018, the start of the road to Seattle. And when we get to Seattle, $1 million, baby, will be on the line. Can Optic Gaming become that team to pull the three-peat, 3-time Halo World Champions? How insane would that be for the Green Wall to pick that trophy up?
That would be absolutely incredible. I mean, there's no denying that they're the best Halo 5 team right now, but to solidify themselves as one of the best console gaming rosters of all time.
Incredible, incredible stuff. But you know what? They've got to get through this weekend. There are a lot of teams that have been painting a big, fat red target on the back. Optic Gaming, they are the gatekeepers. They are the boys to beat. Strongholds on Plaza will be game number 3. The game's underway. Let's get stuck into this one. Shots' POV. We'll kick it off with him because, my God, what a beautiful performance this young boy had in the previous matchup.
Yeah. As soon as I started seeing that and you said his name was Ant, I started to think of back in mythology. Wasn't it like Achilles, his army they led back then? They were formed from ants, and like the whole thing about ants being like they can carry 13 times their own weight or something like that. So it's like, Ant, I see the small little guy right there. He's just carrying the team on his back at this moment.
Oh, man, don't judge a book by his cover, because that young gentleman is a prodigy of Halo 5. He's kind of been what Halo 5's all about. I mean, people like to say, oh, new game, new pros. He has dominated. He has come in from out of nowhere, it seems to be, back, you know, throughout the iteration of Halo 5, and just been an absolute powerhouse.
Yeah, one thing that I've kind of slacked down a little bit is I want to know a bit more about Shotzzy at some point. I want to sit down and talk to him and say, hey, when did you start playing Halo? When did you start playing console FPSs in general? Because if he's been playing his whole life, like, that makes a lot of sense, you know, how good he is. If he's only been playing a short period of time, that's even more impressive. It's either way, Shotzzy is just a force to be reckoned with.
Who was it that discovered him? Was it Ogre 2? Did he play with Ogre 2? I could be wrong here.
I think that sounds correct. I think Ogre 2 had kind of like, I forget what he called it, but he had some like daycare or something like that.
Ogre 2's daycare. I think that's what he may have come from. I apologize if I'm wrong, but I mean, if it is, who better to spot a talent than the Go himself?
Absolutely, man.
So, initial points will come through for Wisefrag. They'll be taking a nice early lead, which is a good start for them. Get some footing on this ground. However, Splyce, we're going to see Renegade with the shotgun, checking top mid. He knows there's a player bottom mid. He'll be asking for some support so he can just sit on this angle, but the grenades come through. Oh. Shotgun to the back of the head, GG, but still being, actually, they've got a full reset on it. Double beatdown comes out from Eco, though, gives him a boxing match over on posters. 23-6, time will keep ticking. 10 minutes remaining on the clock, so really spicy little start here from Wisefrag.
Yeah, that Renegade kill was also so huge because not only did he get that kill in the Stronghold, he also personally got that reset since he got the kill at that last moment. That now means one of his teammates did not have to drop from an advantageous position like Snipe 3 or Top Nest down just to reset that Stronghold.
So we'll take a second just to see how this one's panning out. The time will start ticking away for Splyce. Double kill comes out from Renegade. He's making sure that nobody can kind of traverse back behind him through the cafe. He'll notice Yard's going, so he'll take a bump jump up here. 2 of his teammates are in there, so they know they can, all 3 of them can collapse on this. And remember, when more players, more bodies go into the stronghold, the faster you will turn it in your team's favor. This is sneaky. We're going to see Eco.
That's a nice little sneaky spot.
Especially when you've got camo.
Yes.
It's going to be so hard to see.
Yeah, it seems sneaky until you have the camo guy watching you make that every single little move. You're just like, that guy probably felt like he was in the perfect position, didn't get spotted, but not quite the case. Regardless, one point I wanted to bring up when you said about multiplayers capturing the stronghold is, in general, you want to be pushing around with your teammates anyways. So rather than just having one person stand in the yard and the other person push out early, you probably both want to stand in the yard and then both push out together or take those different angles so you meet up in the center of the map faster.
But I'm also right in saying, Dave, there is an opposite side to that. You all don't want to just throw your bodies in there because you do need to obviously push out and extend away from that to get some kind of map coverage.
Yes, there's absolutely diminishing returns there, but in general, I would say 2 is a pretty safe number to have in those strongholds.
Take a look at the scores then. All of a sudden, Splyce, they've turned this one in their fave. Ooh, a fist full of lead. Make that 2, make that 3. Shotzi, a little monster. Shotgun comes in, now he looks towards the nest, get the capture, take the total control. And at the moment, it's just a pain train. The hammer's coming down, Dave. Splyce want to win this one 3-0.
Yeah, it's looking pretty rough here for Wisefrags. However, you got to keep in mind, last game, they were down by, what, about 12 kills. It was like 24-12, and they started to make that massive comeback and bring it really close there on True Slayer. So not fully out yet, but when you're starting to see Shotzi making moves like that, getting a triple kill with shotgun, throwing a grenade across the map, getting a killing spree, it looks pretty bleak.
It's little situations like that. For instance, he could have quite easily run away, but why bother? Why not keep them pinned down in light rifle tunnel? Why not rip the shields off, then call for support from my teammates? I've got Renegade on the back. He's timing camo. He's keeping control. Looking to...
Oh, he's going to do it too.
Oh, God, no. Please.
However, I slightly disagree with that execution. He's going to get both these kills. He gets both the kills. However, when I see 2 players about to charge up like that, I'm not going to go for the back smack on the very first one. You can assume that second player is right behind, going to be able to get those first shots on you. So I think that was a slight misexecution. Now, you can argue that Renegade got both those kills. What's wrong with it? And I don't know. I don't always agree with the results. I think if you did that same move 9 out of 10 times, there's going to be many times where that second player is going to see Renegade and shoot him in the back.
Look at this. Just pushing in, aggression. Oh, beat down, comes in with a double, manages to hit it, and Eco's in the back, and that kind of talks about the buddy system. You just punch one, teammate comes around the corner looking at these barrels, doesn't find its target. He's down below him, so he needs to be careful because this one player is still floating around somewhere. In fact, no, he's not. He's called out. Stella's there. Thank you very much. 1, 2, 3 bodies hit the floor. Wisefrag, they're all dead.
However, what was so great about the positioning by Renegade there was if there was still a player near Hotel, he decided just to avoid that player completely, jump out on that front ledge, and that player would have to come out exposed near the truck with his back to the rest of the Splyce members shooting up at Renegade in a disadvantageous position. So great positioning all around.
And I think Wisefrag know this.